Very good morning to all of you. On the today's discussion, we are going to discuss about the basics of the networks, the networking, what is the term networking called, what are the terms related to the networking, how we prepare the network, and what are the key feature of using the best network, right? So this side Ankit Vyas, and we are going to discuss about the networking. We'll start with very basic part of the networking, that how networking can be established, right? What are the way to use the network, and what are the different categories of the network, and what are the basic key features, what are the basic key things which is related to the network. We'll also cover up regarding to the host, what is workstation, what is server, what is client, and what is nodes. So, students, before starting the session, let us discuss about the data first, right? Our main key thing or our main subject or the name of our subject is data communication and networks, right? So let's start with the data first, that what exactly the data is, right? So students, we have three things which is interrelated over here that we have already pronounced it as an, right, that is data communication and networks, right? So in this subject that is usually known as in computer networks, which is basically called data communication and networks. So we have to discuss about all these three terms, that what exactly the data, what exactly the communication, and what exactly the networks. So let us proceed to the next session. As the point is very clear, that why there is a need to prepare the network. See, what is the requirement? The basic requirement is that we have something which we want to send to the other place without standing or without moving there. It means with the help of the computer. Suppose we have some data, basically we have some raw facts and figures, we have some raw materials. Basically data is very common. Data is a collection of raw facts and raw materials that has no specific meaning. It means that is unspecified. It means we can say that 1 2 3 xyz, that is somehow we have data. As it is pictorially represent over the slide, that yes, see, we have some message, right? It means we have something which we want to send somewhere, right? So see, that something must be some messages, right? So let's suppose we have some messages, right? That message we want to send from the place. It means we have three four things which is works in between, right? So we will also cover up about these all three four things in detail, right? But let us have a basic idea that what are those four five things, right? See, we have message. It means we have something which we are going to send it, right? Then we have sender. Sender means somewhere from where we are going to send that particular information, right? Then receiver. Receiver is something which obtain, which receives that particular information, that particular data, right? And see, by moving the data from sender to receiver, we have medium in between, right, which just connect the sender to receiver for the direct transmission of that particular data, right? And there are certain rules and regulations that how data will get flowed within the network, that would be known as in protocol. Fine. Now let us differentiate that what is data communication basically. See, as we have two terms, one is data, another one is communication. Communication is something that yes, we are going to establish the connection in between, that is known as in communication, right? So transfer of data from one device to another device via some of the transmission medium, as I have already told you that there was something in between, right, which allow us to travel the data, right? See, as simply we are taking our mobile phone example, right? See, that is obviously clear that suppose we are going to just talk with someone else, so we have two three basic requirements which is mandatory. The first thing is that we have some specific operators, right? The next thing is that we need that particular person's contact details so that we can directly communicate in between, right? And the third one is that we have that recharge top up available, then only we are able to communicate, right? So as it is clear that we have sender in between, we have receiver in between, we have medium, right, that is our SIM card, right? and we have certain protocols that yes, if there was the mobile balance, then only we are able to talk, else we are not able to talk with someone else, right? So that is somehow, and the same is being dictated over the definition of the data communication, right? Now we have something that yes, how to measure that particular thing. That yes, how data communication can be measured. That yes, we have sent it this much of information, and this is somehow we have. See, as we are talking about our human body weight, right? So that human body weight would be measured in somehow in kilograms. That is somehow in tons or whatever it is, right? So if we are talking about the data communication or the data transmission within the network, right? So that would be that would be classified, or that would be measured with the help of the following key terms. So one is the delivery, right? See, delivery must be the correct destination. It means that point is clear. Students, we are taking that mobile phone example that is flexible to all of us, right? As if we are going to communicate, or if we are going to talk with someone else with the help of the mobile phone, right? So that mobile number must be appropriate. If it is appropriate, then only we are able to talk with the desired destination, else it is not possible to talk with that particular destination to whom we are going to discuss with, right? Then we have timeliness, right? See, definitely we thought that particular establishment or that particular network or that particular connection should be made as per the timeline. It means there was no busy schedule, there was no network issue, that network must be everywhere, right? Something like that. Then we have accuracy, right? We thought that yes, see, if there was the if there was the gap, if we are going to make the call, as we generally say is that yes, calls are being dropped, right? Or there was some kind of as suppose we are going to talk with someone, so there was some, see, that particular call would be forwarded to some xyz people, right? So it must be happen, right? And that particular jitter means variations in packet arrival, right? It means there was certain basically frequent duration, right? As a receiver is being receiving the packets, right? So that particular you know timeline must be as per the as per the specific order, so that we can obtain that particular packets in the proper manner, right? So that's all. Now, let us see that how data will get, represent, or how to present that particular data. It means we are talking about the format of the data. That yes, how that would be presented, right? If you're talking about the, that smallest memory measurement unit, right? So that is simply bit, right? If you're talking about the numbers, right? So it might be 8, 16, 32-bit, etc. Whatever it is, right? Whether it is in floating point, it means the data which we are going to send, that we are going to transfer within the network, that must be some numbers, that must be some text, right? Text, definitely it includes some ASCII values, it includes some Unicode formats, right? We have images, it means we are also able to transfer the images between the network, right? That might be bit patterns, graphics formats, JPEG, GIF, PNG, right, BMP, etc., right? We have audio, samples of continuous signal. It means if we are talking about the audio, right, there was the continuous flickering it between. It means there was no cinematic pause, or that particular voice or that particular audio would be traveled as per the order, whatever is being there or whatever is being specified for that, right? And we have video, right? The very important thing, that the sequence of the bitmap images. It means that direction, that movement, that everything would be as per the as per the happening which is being proceeded within the videos, right? So that's all, students. Again, students, I hope you all are enjoying the session, right? Now, the very important thing, students, as I have already told you, that you see, if you are going to talk with someone, so you do have the sufficient mobile balance in your phone, right? That is somehow rules. See, operator policies. It means if you are following the operator policies, then only you are able to make the call. Na? That is very simple. It means agar mere, see, if my mobile phone is holding the account balance, then only we are able to make the call, right? So that is known as a protocol, right? Protocol is something, see, which is specifying a kind of rules, basically, that how communication can be made, right? Then we have, see, it works on certain things, right? The one is the structure, basically structure or format of the data, that is known as in syntax, right? We have semantics. Semantics is nothing that interprets the meaning of the bits, right? Knows which will define what action, right? That is semantics, right? And we have timing, basically when a data should be sent, or what data need to be sent, or when data needs to be sent data, right? And then we have a speed at which data should be sent, or speed at which it is being received, right? So these all things would be included under the protocols. The students, that graphically how data would be, how data would be transmitted within the network, as we are being, as we directly say that the flow, basically the flow, that how data will get flowed within the network, right? So we have simplex. It means we are also, it is also known as the modes of the data communication, that is how we can transfer the data within the network, or what are the various modes, basically, that yes, how we how we able to transmit the data within the network, right? So that is, and it is also known as in data flow techniques, right? So we have very simple, that is known as in simplex, right? Simplex means one direction only, right? It means we have two computers, or we have two devices, let's suppose, right? And on those two devices we are able to see, one is able to send the data and another one is able to receive the data, right? So that is known as in data flow in a simplex manner. Simplex in the sense that yes, see, that is very much clear, that suppose we are going to type any key, or suppose we are going to display anything, right? So that is very clear that yes, we have to press that particular key from our keyboard, right? See, after pressing that particular keyboard, that keyboard is directly connected with our tower, that is known as in CPU, right? Then CPU interprets that yes, what we have written, what we have typed, right? And that would be displayed within the display panel, right? So this kind of communication is known as in simplex communication. I hope you guys understand that what are exactly the simplex. Now we have, you know, half duplex. Half duplex is very simple, students, right? As we have data, right? We can also transmit the data, or that data would be, transmitted in both direction. Both direction means either sender can also send the data, either receiver has the same feature, same ability, that yes, they can also treat it as in sender, and if it is required, so they can also work as in receiver, right? Whatever is feasible. And the very best example of using this, that suppose we have railway track available, right? See, on the railway track, we have a track from where the train is generally being moved. But yes, from a single track, or from from some specific track, only one train can be traveled at a time. Whether that particular train is going to the destination, or whether some train which comes from some specific source to some destination, it means one train can be traveled at a time, right? That is known as in, half duplex communication. Or see, we have another example that is generally used in paramilitary forces, that is walkie-talkies, right? That generally people they do have, right? See, on the walkie-talkies we have a kind of access, that yes, one person can transmit the information at that particular time, right? Other can also transmit, but yes, both, both orders must be changed. It means suppose somehow one is going to send that particular information at that time, so that would be treated as a sender or receiver. But parallelly, if receiver want to send some information, so at that particular time, receivers treated as in sender, right? And that particular sender is treated as a receiver. Dear students, I hope you all are enjoying the session, right? So, well, we are discussing about the data, data direction flow, that how data will get traveled within the network, and we have the last technique on data flow techniques, that is full duplex communication. Full duplex means both directions simultaneously. It is not mandatory that yes, uh, only at a time sender can send the receiver, sender can send the data, and receiver only can receive the data. See, here we are doing the parallel communication. It means we have sender, we have receiver, both are just sharing the resources at a single time only, right? The very best example of this particular full duplex communication is, that is telephone, right, can be emulated on a single communication link using various methods, right? So as it has been already specified from the pictures that yes, how data will get flowed within the full duplex communication. Students, we are also discussing about the difference between telecommunication and data communication. Guys, we have two terms. One is telephonic communication, right, and we have data communication, right? So we are also discussing about the what is the difference in between data communication and the telephonic communication. Before discussing this, we have to learn these few terms which is related, right? That is we have to discuss about the definition of the network. We have to discuss about the criteria, that yes, what are the desired criteria that would be that must be there for the network, or that must be there for establishing the network, right? And we need to know about the physical structure of the network, that yes, how physically it would be attached, or it would be connected within the network, right? And we are also discussing about the categories, different categories of the network. Let us start with the network definition, right? In a simple word, see, network is a set of devices often referred to as a nodes concerned by the communication links. It means, see, where we can establish the network. See, we can establish the network if somewhere we have some connectivity, basically, right? Connectivity in the sense that yes, see, we are able to transmit the data. Suppose we have some physical connection, suppose we have some wired connection, suppose we have some logical connection. It means, suppose as I'm speaking and you guys are listening, right? So we have medium in between. It means you guys have ears, so that you are able to listen as that what I'm going to say, and I'm having tongue, I'm having mouth, so that I'm able to speak and you guys are listening it properly, right? So there was some channel in between, then only we are able to establish the network. Or network is something that yes, we are connecting set of devices or multiple devices, right? And that is being connected with the help of some certain links, basically, right? So that would be known as a network. Let us understand the purpose of using the network. See, the purpose of a network is generally to share the resources. It means, suppose we have multiple computers, suppose we have multiple employees in a company, right? And we have certain devices. Let's suppose we have certain printers, basically. We have 3, 4 printers for 500 users, right? So we are going to share that particular printer with those all 500 users, so that all of them can smoothly take their printout, right? We have certain things, we have certain files and folder available, right? And we are going to share that particular file or folder with all the users, so that is also quite possible with the help of the network. It means there was a chain in between, there was some connectivity in between, there was some physical or logical connection in between, then only we are able to share the resources, right? Especially we are just, if we are preparing any network, right? So for that we have certain rules and regulations. For that we have certain policies are there, right? So that is somehow meet on the following criteria. So one is the performance, another one is the reliability. We have to see that yes, how faster the network is. That is performance called we have. Then we have reliable, right? How handy it is. That is very important to students. It means it must not be critical that yes, users will get confused that here where should I enter, from where I should move, right? And we have scalability. Scalability in the sense of students, as I have already told you that yes, that particular transaction must be done in a continuous manner, so that we can easily able to find identify that yes, this particular packet is being traveled within the network, right? So that is known as an scalability. Now let us talk about the performance, right? Performance also conclude the following key parameters, that yes, transit time, response time. It means how long that particular data will get transmitted, right? That how much time it is being taken while that is being transmitted, right? And response, it means after this much of time period that particular data is providing us a response, right? So that is known as a response, right? So the detailed description I have already mentioned in my own wording, right? So if you have any kind of confusion, so you feel free to let me know. We will surely help you out on this. Let us talk about the reliability. As I have already told you that yes, that the frequency at which network failures take place, as I have already told you, that must be reliable. That yes, as I've already told you that how smoother our network is. See, generally we are saying that yes, initially when Geo has been launched, so it is providing us the better communication feature. We are easily able to talk with each other. We are having good internet access, but nowadays that Geo's speed is blunder, right? We are not able to get that much of data speed, or somehow the call dropping was there, right? So that is somehow related to the reliability, right? We have security, right? Security is nothing but yes, the protection of data from the unauthorized user or access. It means we have that particular intimation within the network, that suppose someone is going to hack our data, someone is going to obtain our data, so we can easily access that yes, who is going to hack or who is going to obtain it, right? That must be, it means our data transmission must be secure. That is also being identified. Very important thing that yes, which network should I buy or which network should I use, right? The properties of the good network, right? The very first thing is interpersonal communication. We have resources that must be shared easily, and we have data and file that can be shared easily. It means we have these three key terminologies, which is being or which must be required for a smooth or faster network, right? It means interpersonal communication. It means we can communicate with each other efficiently and easily. Example, email, chat rooms, video conferencing, etc. Right? Resources can be shared. It means suppose we are going to share something, right? We are going to share our desktop, right? So that would be also possible. We have lots of solutions available, right? We have sharing of resources, sharing of data, sharing of files, sharing of some images, sharing of videos, whatever it is, that we can smoothly transmit. Very important point that yes, we have different types of the connections. First is point to point, that is also known as a dedicated link, and we have multi-point, that is also known as time shared. It means shares a single link. It means we have one-to-one communication, or we have one-to-many communication. It means we have single resource, and that single resource we are going to share with all the other users, end users, and they all are obtaining that particular users, that particular resource easily, right? So that is known as in multi-point. This feature, as this particular figure is also showing that yes, how data will get transmit, or how data will get traveled in point to point connections, as we have one to one communication from one system to other system, right? That is also known as in point to point connection. I hope you all understand by showing this particular figure. Now students, see, let us see how multi-point connection can be work. A multi-point means we have multiple chains, we have multiple systems available, right? And those all multiple systems are connected with a single network. As we have said that yes, we have two computers and we are going to connect those two computers with each other. So that is a kind of communication which is known as in point-to-point computer, point-to-point connection. Or we have two computers, we have two devices, we have anything which is two, or we are going to connected with each other, right? And multi-point connection is somehow we called it as an that we have multiple devices, or we have more than two units, right? And we are going to integrate those two units, whether that is wired, whether that is wireless, whatever it is, right? Whether that is computer, printers, or some other peripherals, so whatever it is, right? We are going to connect it, so that would be considered as an under the multi-point connections. What are the advantages of using networking, right? We have connectivity and communication that we can easily make it, right? That is data sharing. We have hardware sharing, we have internet access, that we can easily access the internet, we have internet access sharing, we have data security and management, and we have entertainment. That it means we can perform all these activities, or not only these activities, we have more than so many things that we can perform with the help of the use or by using the networking. clear, students, that is very much clear that yes, everything have certain advantages. So definitely they have certain drawbacks as well as. Okay, we have, if we are talking about the disadvantages, it means we need to buy a costly hardware, costly network hardware, right? Software and setup cost as well, hardware and software management and administration cost. It means we need to hire some, professional administrator who can easily handle the network, right? We need to we have undesirable sharing, we have illegal and undesirable behavior, we have data security and concerns. So we have so many advantages, or we have so many disadvantages of using networking. Let us talk about the different categories or different types of the network. We have local area network, we have wide area network, we have metropolitan area network. Local area network, as LAN is very common to all of us, that yes, if we are talking about the LAN, it means we have something which is available on the local area, on some specified area, on some office area, on some campus area, and we are going to share the resources on that particular campuses, right? So that is possible with the help of the local area network. It means in a computer networking, computers it covers the small geographical area like home, offices, group, or buildings that I have already, explored to you in the figures, right? So better you just go through the figures so that you can easily understand that yes, what LAN exactly was. Secondly, we have wide area network. Wide area is nothing but here that covers, that contains, that concludes the, wide range of the area, wide range of the network, so that we can have that resources or that particular data which we can share above the world wide web. It means the best example of wide area network is the internet, right? Network providing long distance communication over a country, over a continent, over a world wide web. The best example of wide area network is the internet, right? As we are accessing the internet because we have wide area network available. It means widely, it means till the continent, if you're talking about that, we are able to connect the systems, right? So that is quite possible with the help of the wide area network. Now, the very important thing that yes, suppose we have certain cities, suppose we are going to connect some cities, suppose we are going to connect some, some distances, basically, some specified distances, right? So how that is possible? So that is possible, that is quite possible with the help of the metropolitan area network, right? Network extended over an entire city, right? As we have certain, as there are two cities is being specified within the figure, right? So if we are going to connect it, so that is being possible with the help of the metropolitan area network. Now the very important point is that yes, what is host, what is workstation, what is server, what is client, what is node. See, host is nothing but yes, a network host is a computer or other devices connected to a computer network, right? A network host may offer some information, resources, services, and applications to users or other nodes onto the network, right? Then we have workstation. A workstation is a special computer designed for a technical specification application intended primarily to use one person at a time. They are commonly connected to a local area network and run multiple users or run multi-user operating system, right? So that is known as an workstation. And then we have server, basically server. As name suggests, a student, what is the server? Server is something which is generally providing us the services. Services are nothing but yes, we have some access, we have some printer access, we have some internet access, we have some file access, whatever it is, that is being facilitated with the help of the server, and the computer which provide all these services is known as a server computer, right? And client is nothing but yes, the end user, basically the end user or the computer or the system which is being accessing the services which server facilitate us, that is being accessed with the help of the client systems. Okay, thank you so much for watching. It was nice to present the presentation in front of you. Thanks for watching. And again, this side Ankit Vyas, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science at OIMT Rishikesh, Uttarakhand. Thank you.